Welcome to Stoic Mastery, where we delve into the ancient philosophy of Stoicism and explore its practical applications in modern life. The Stoics were a group of philosophers who lived over 2,000 years ago, but their teachings are still relevant and impactful today. In this video, we'll explore the Stoic art of self-reflection and self-improvement and how it can help us become better versions of ourselves. By focusing on what we can control, cultivating inner strength and self-discipline, and living a life of service and compassion, we can lead more fulfilling and virtuous lives. The Stoics believed that self-reflection is the key to self-improvement. According to the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius, look within. Within is the fountain of good, and it will ever bubble up if thou wilt ever dig. This means that we have the power to improve ourselves, but we must first look inward and reflect on our thoughts, actions, and values. One Stoic technique for self-reflection is called negative visualization. This involves imagining the worst-case scenario and accepting it as a possibility. For example, if you're afraid of losing your job, imagine yourself without a job and consider what you would do in that situation. This helps you prepare for the worst and appreciate what you have. Another technique is to journal regularly. Writing down your thoughts and emotions can help you process them and gain insight into your patterns of behavior. Seneca, another famous Stoic philosopher, wrote, "We should keep careful watch over our thoughts when we are alone. For when we are alone, they change their character and become like a bad companion." Self-reflection requires humility and a willingness to acknowledge our flaws and weaknesses. By practicing self-reflection regularly, we can identify areas for improvement and work towards becoming better versions of ourselves. Self-improvement is not just about reflecting on ourselves, but also about taking action to improve. The Stoics believed that virtue is the only true good, and that we should strive to live a virtuous life. This involves cultivating virtues such as wisdom, courage, justice, and self-control. One way to cultivate virtues is through practicing virtue ethics. This involves examining our actions and motivations to ensure they align with our values and virtues. For example, if you value honesty, you should strive to be truthful in all your interactions, even if it is difficult. Another way to improve ourselves is through adversity. The Stoics believed that challenges and setbacks are opportunities for growth and learning. Seneca wrote, "Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body." Finally, we can improve ourselves through helping others. The Stoics believed in the concept of philanthropy, or love for humanity. By serving others and contributing to society, we not only make the world a better place but also cultivate virtues such as compassion and generosity. In conclusion, self-improvement is a lifelong journey that requires self-reflection, action, and a commitment to virtue. By cultivating virtues, embracing adversity, and serving others, we can become better versions of ourselves and lead fulfilling lives. The Stoics believed that our thoughts and perceptions shape our reality. Epictetus, a prominent Stoic philosopher, famously said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." One way to control our thoughts and perceptions is through the practice of cognitive reframing. This involves reinterpreting negative situations in a more positive light. For example, if you experience a setback at work, you can reframe it as an opportunity for growth and learning. Another way to control our thoughts is through mindfulness. This involves being present in the moment and aware of our thoughts and emotions without judgment. By practicing mindfulness, we can observe our thoughts and choose to respond to them in a constructive way. Finally, the Stoics believed in the power of gratitude. By focusing on what we have rather than what we lack, we can cultivate a sense of contentment and happiness. Seneca wrote, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." Life is long enough, and a sufficiently generous amount has been given to us for the highest achievements if it were all well invested. In conclusion, by controlling our thoughts and perceptions, practicing mindfulness, and cultivating gratitude, we can lead more fulfilling lives and experience greater happiness and contentment. The Stoics believed that our actions should be guided by reason and morality, rather than emotions and desires. This requires self-discipline and self-control. One way to practice self-control is through the technique of delayed gratification. This involves delaying immediate pleasure or satisfaction for long-term gain. For example, if you're trying to save money, you might resist the temptation to buy something you don't really need and instead put that money towards a long-term financial goal. Another way to practice self-control is through the Stoic concept of apatheia, or emotional detachment. This does not mean suppressing emotions or becoming unfeeling, but rather acknowledging and accepting them without being controlled by them. By practicing apatheia, we can make more rational and reasoned decisions. Finally, the Stoics believed in the importance of maintaining a sense of inner peace and tranquility. This involves avoiding excess and living a simple life. Seneca wrote, "It is not that we have a short space of time, but that we waste much of it." Life is long enough, and it has been given in sufficiently generous measure to allow the accomplishment of the very greatest things if the whole of it is well invested. In conclusion, by practicing self-control, emotional detachment, and simplicity, we can lead more fulfilling lives and make decisions that are guided by reason and morality, rather than emotions and desires. The Stoics believed that we are all interconnected and part of a larger community. This requires us to live a life of service and compassion towards others. One way to practice service and compassion is through the Stoic concept of oikeiosis, or natural affection. This involves recognizing our natural connection to other human beings and treating them as we would treat ourselves. By cultivating a sense of empathy and compassion, we can become better friends, family members, and citizens. Another way to practice service and compassion is through volunteering and community service. By contributing to our communities and helping those in need, we not only make the world a better place but also cultivate virtues such as generosity and kindness. Finally, the Stoics believed in the importance of ethical leadership. By leading with integrity and compassion, we can inspire others and create positive change in the world. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most famous Stoic philosophers and Roman emperors, wrote, "The best way to avenge yourself is to not be like that." In conclusion, by living a life of service and compassion, cultivating empathy and compassion, and leading with integrity, we can make the world a better place and fulfill our role as part of a larger community. In conclusion, the Stoic art of self-reflection and self-improvement is a powerful tool for living a more fulfilling and virtuous life. By focusing on what we can control, cultivating inner strength and self-discipline, and living a life of service and compassion, we can become better versions of ourselves and make the world a better place. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, "No one is free who is not a master of himself." By following the teachings of the Stoics and striving to live a life guided by reason and morality, we can become masters of ourselves and live a life of purpose and meaning. Thank you for watching this video from Stoic Mastery. We hope that you found it informative and helpful in your journey towards mastery of Stoicism.